So we're here at the Drive Limits event and we're going to get ready. So today is all about a bit of coaching, getting to learn the cars. So first of all, we're going to go out and try a braking test. So we can see we've got a cluster of GR Yarises here today. And let's go and see what it's like. And let's go and learn a bit more about the Yarises. So the first test we're going to do today is an acceleration and brake test. A bit like we did in the Pomeroy. Literally about 12 months ago. So we've got a couple of cars. Well, let's see how they're getting on. So what now we're trying to practice is like an emergency brake, but we're trying to get that really good. So at the moment we want to try and get on the brake initially as hard as possible, 9/10 of the way, and then just kind of pull back and brake. As the speed drops, we want to come off the brake a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. But it takes some getting used to. At the moment I feel like I'm getting on the brakes quite hard and then coming off and then getting back on and pulsating almost. So we're here and we've just completed the emergency stop. I think I struggled a bit on it, got better near the end, but I've changed shoes. I did have quite heavy, thick shoes, and I've gone to the boots that I use when I drive sim racing. I think the emergency stop highlighted that I'm okay cadence braking in sim, perfectly fine with that, but what really started is the G-force and the amount of time that you have to get things under control. Everything happens a lot, well, it feels like it happens a lot quicker in the real world, and of course you've got the forces of being forced into the seat, which has changed how it feels, so it's getting used to that. We're going to go on to now the high-speed turn. So this is a flat out, and then we've got to try and go as fast as we can for this left-hand turn. Now the idea is not to go over the drain, but it's also to get up to and potentially past the limit of the car. So what we want to do is potentially have a spin, or get the car a little bit sideways and reach up to the limit or beyond. So spins are kind of encouraged. So let's see how it goes. Right, so that's the first high-speed left turn done. That was quite good fun. Got it sideways, caught it, had a little bit of a shimmy, almost went again, but we did it just over 60. So we'll give it another go. I had plenty of track to the drain, which is kind of the outer limits. So we'll see if we can push it at maybe 65. 60 miles an hour. Now we're going to go on to a really interesting exercise in steering control. So to try and listen to the steering wheel and try and understand what communication the steering wheel was giving us, we were tasked with going at this corner at 60 miles an hour, but only keeping one finger on the steering wheel. As you can see, we're here with Paul, and he manages it, and this just goes to prove that we are all holding the steering wheel way too tight and almost death gripping it to the point that we're not allowing it to
communicate with us. Now, do not try to attempt this anywhere other than in a controlled environment like drive limits. This is an exercise for us to understand how much communication the steering wheel is actually giving us.
Whoa. I went over that line. So we've just done the high-speed turn with one finger, and I have to say I sucked at it. Just because I turned in, felt the car slide, and then I grabbed it with two hands, as you would have seen in the video. So we're going to just try and go through again and just try and get on the edge of the limit through there. We need to calm down, turn in, feel the steering wheel, and then look where we need to go. Right, so we're back at it again. We've had a little rest, decompression, and think about what we were doing that was good or not so good. So we're going to go back at this fast lefter. So key is stay supple, stay relaxed, don't oversteer, listen to the steering wheel, turn it in, listen, let it settle, and then get a second bite. So we're going to try and practice that and put it into perfect. Hopefully we can get it nice gentle slide through the corner. Turn it in, listen, let it settle, get a second bite. Yeah! Right, well, we're starting to get some spots of rain, but I'm starting to zero in on the feeling. Just being a lot less aggressive with my inputs. Can feel the initial turn in, a bite, and then let the car settle and then drive through the corner. This is what this event is for, is getting to understand that you could not do this on the road, and you could probably do it on a track day, but the problem is there are other cars, there's not much space, you could be interfering or causing issues with other people. So this is where it is really handy to get to know where the limit is. Well, I've seen as you're watching this, I kind of turn in, you can feel the car bite, and then it loosens up and then it bites again. So that double input that we've been trying to learn, you'll see that happening. Edging up the speed a little bit more there. I think we were about 65, 67 miles an hour, and you turn in, feel what the car wants to do. Let me explain. So you kind of turn in, see where the car's at. If it's unhappy, maybe take a little bit of lock off or put a bit more on, and then bite and go. And then use your brain, use what your seat is telling you, but also more importantly, well, probably just as importantly, the steering wheel is telling you to adjust what grip is there, because every time you do it, it's going to be slightly different. Going into it slightly faster, there's going to be more forces. The track warms up a little bit, the tyres warm up a little bit, so it's a little bit different each time, but it's just trying to get that consistency. Right, so the morning's done and we've had a nice bit of lunch, a nice sausage and bacon baguette, and we're going to get ready for this afternoon. So this morning we learned a lot about car control. Took the car up and past the limit, understand what happens when we do that, so we've got more of an understanding that if and when it does happen, we know what to do and don't do the wrong thing. So really helpful. Feel like it's almost like, if I liken this back to the virtual world, when you do practice, initially you get into the car, you feel off the pace, just don't feel connected, and you just start doing more laps, and then you just start, okay, then I can push it a bit harder here. I understand that when I do this is why it's doing what it's doing. So that's really helpful. So let's go on with this afternoon then. So the first activity of this afternoon is it started raining great again, so it's going to get slippy again. So what we're going to do is take it the fast left again, but this time try and stick to a constant speed. So we're going to go to 60 miles an hour, hold it at 16, hold it all the way through, whereas before we've either been lifting off or braking. So we're just going to try and get our throttle foot used to holding consistent speed. So let's see how this goes with the wetness. Wow, that went. Wow, F me. That was a fast spin. It all got away from me there. Just tried to hold constant throttle, got the first turn in fine, and then the second one just came and overtook us. I was a passenger, but wow, that's a roller coaster ride and a half. But that's what it is. It's really slippy back out here now. It's been raining over lunch, not like torrential tipping it down, just spitting but constant, and the grip levels have definitely dropped. Stalled it. Oh man, messed that up with a stall. Right, so there we go. There's the drive limits day done. Big shout out and thank you to Graham and Dave who hosted today's event and gave us some amazing feedback. Really good fun taking the GR right up to the limit and sometimes beyond it. Learned a lot. There's no substitution for track time and this just really highlighted it. Really great day. Definitely would encourage it. And I know it was wet and cold, but it's probably best. Like, if this had been a hot, sticky day, the cars would have been completely different and maybe not as challenging as it was. So really thumbs up to it. So if you enjoyed it, smash a like, that's greatly appreciated. And if you've really enjoyed it, do a subscribe. These guys are going, I'm going. Until then, goodbye.